Good day, kids! Let's have fun in learning English. For today's lesson, we have using verbal and non-verbal cues in a TV broadcast for English 5, Quarter 4, Week 1. This video contains information published by the Department of Education in line with MELP. We do not assert ownership on the material being used. To begin another milestone in English 5, this lesson will prepare you for your advanced lesson in analyzing visual and multimedia elements. Today, you will identify, distinguish, and utilize visual media tools in terms of television broadcasting in identifying and using various and appropriate verbal and nonverbal cues. In this lesson, you are expected to use verbal and nonverbal cues in a TV broadcast, infer target audience, and infer purposes of the visual media. Whenever you watch TV for news broadcasts, what do you observe about the presenters or broadcasters? Do they make you understand the news clearly and effectively? Why? Television is one of the most powerful tools in communicating information, especially in news broadcasting. TV news broadcast is considered the most frequent and trusted source of information. Communication is simply the act of transferring information from one place to another. Communications can be spoken or verbal communication. For example, we have face-to-face, telephone, radio, or television. We also have other media or nonverbal communications like body language, gestures, how we dress or act, or our scent. In a television broadcast, the director should use a series of standards, calls and set procedures to direct the efforts of the video crew. A consistency of the protocol allows the crew to anticipate the responsibilities by following standard operating procedures with clearly defined and universally understood. Now, what are verbal and nonverbal cues used in a television broadcast? So we have stand by, speed up, okay, stretch or slow down, keep talking on time, cue, come closer, go back, 30 seconds, 15 minutes or 15 seconds, 4 minutes countdown. You are in camera, and cut. So, for learning task 1, directions, use the appropriate verbal or nonverbal cues in following television broadcast situations. Choose your answer from the given choices. Do this in your notebook. So for the choices, we have keep talking, cut, you are in camera, stand by, and 30 seconds. So for number 1, the director signals the anchor to look at the camera. Number 2, the director wants everybody in the set to stand by in 1 minute. Number 3, the director signals to stand by in 30 seconds. Number 4, There is remaining time in the set. The director wants the anchor to talk more and spend the time left. And for number 5, this means over, cut, and show, and it's finished. For learning task 2, have you ever watched a game or sports competition aired live on TV? Create a sportscast script. Memorize and practice delivering it. Be guided on the use of verbal and nonverbal cues in a TV broadcast. Use the following rubrics below as guide standard in writing a script. And now, always remember that speakers use verbal and nonverbal cues to convey meaning. TV broadcasting is the distribution of video or other messages to a dispersed audience via television. A verbal cue is a prompt that is conveyed in spoken language from one person to another or a group of people. Nonverbal cue includes all the communications between people who do not have a direct verbal translation. They are body movements, body orientations, nuances of the voice, facial expressions, details of the dress and choice, and movements of objects that communicate. And in TV broadcasting, verbal and nonverbal cues are used. So, this time for assessment, write a dialogue in your notebook about the current community quarantine status in your locality. Choose and use verbal cues below, and then continue the sentence, pretending you are a TV nose actor. Make sure and be guided by the given sample below. So for verbal cues, we have, today we shall discuss, in conclusion, to summarize, to introduce, to recap, to review. First of all, our topic is in the following order. Next, as a result, and then. And for your reflection, communicate your personal assessment as indicated in the learner's assessment card. Using the symbols below, choose one which best describes your experience in working on each given task. Draw it in the column for level of performance. Be guided by the descriptions below. And that's all for now. See you next time.